talk about Tekken 8. Alright? So, here's the deal. I've been playing fighting games consistently here on DSP Gaming. And when I say consistently, I mean Friday night fights, like Friday nights playing them every Friday night. And then usually 1 to 2 other streams a week, if not more. I've been doing that since the release of Street Fighter 6 in June of last year. So at this point, it's been, 9 straight months of fighting games non-stop here on the channel. And basically, with Street Fighter 6, what I saw was a really cool attitude from the viewers. A reinvigoration of interest for fighting games. Because I used to heavily play fighting games. I used to travel to tournaments. I used to be an actual, what we considered, professional level competitive Street Fighter player back in the 2000s. Now, that was a long time ago, right? And I've been out of the loop of competitive play for a very long time. When Street Fighter 4 came out in 2009 and 2010, I covered it like crazy on YouTube. I made insane amounts of videos, but they were not high-level videos. It was me kind of messing around with the game, picking a character, dicking around, just learning basics, and then playing online and raging and screaming and swearing, and people found it hilariously interesting, funny. I got tons of views on those videos, and I got very prominent on YouTube for that content. And what's funny is the FGC hated me for it, because they were trying to make professional, high-level gameplay videos that weren't getting nearly as much attention as me just dicking around with this game and looking like an asshole, but people liked that. You understand? So, it was weird, because my content was always very different from the content that the FGC was putting out. Now, over the years, my attitude towards fighting games changed. When Street Fighter 5 came out, I hated it. I thought it was a terrible game, so I barely played it. I did casually play other fighting games, such as the Injustice series, the Mortal Kombat series, Tekken, and other games over the years, but I never really honed in and focused on a fighting game in any heavy capacity, because I've never really found that urge or that spark with any modern game like I had back in the day with classic Street Fighter. In fact, I just found myself going back to the well of classic Street Fighter over and over and over. Whether it was Capcom Classics Collection, the Capcom Fighting Collection, any collection of these classics of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and or other various games that they would bundle in with it, I would play that way, way more than actual modern fighting games, right? Because of that, my fighting game audience disappeared. There used to be, no exaggeration, thousands of people who would come out whenever I played a fighting game to watch me play it. And because I basically stopped being interested so much in fighting games, besides the classics, I lost that audience. Okay? So last year when I started playing Street Fighter 6, it was a unique experience because it was an opportunity for me to play a game at launch, to learn it along with everybody else on the internet, right? To try to get, good at Street Fighter again for the first time in my life. And it worked. People showed up, they were engaged, they were supportive, they were tracking my wins and losses, they were helping me with gameplay elements every single time that I played. They were incredibly supportive of those streams, which was amazing to have people come out and support fighting games for the first time in so many years, because I was actually putting effort into it, right? And I can say this, I had a great time doing it, although it became very stressful once you get to a certain level at a fighting game, okay? What happens is, now, instead of just learning basics and fundamentals, now you have to learn a more advanced level of knowledge of the game. And in Street Fighter 6, for that, it was the top tier characters all play exactly the same. They're all rushdown characters. Every one of them gets in your face with crazy speed, hits you with these mix-ups, and or attempting to fool you into blocking the wrong way, and then they get a giant combo, and then they push you to the corner, and now that's game over. Okay? Especially for the bottom half of the whole tier listing of the game, they really can't hang against maybe the top 6-7 characters. They just get bodied by them in this regard, okay? So what would happen is I would get to a certain ranking with a character, and now it was like, now it's like an uphill battle, because you have to really fight against these people who all play exactly the same pattern, same gameplay ad nauseum, and it gets boring and repetitive and grindy. But once you pass that level and you get to master, now it was better, right? It was fun. And basically what happened was, I got so many characters to master, right? I had, first it was Blanca, then it was E Honda, then it was Lily, then it was Dalsim, and then I was on the path there with Zangief as well. Like, I was actually doing well with Zangief. Like, wow, if I just keep playing, I'm going to hit master with him, right? So really, there was nothing left to prove in the game except if I wanted to keep playing through master, and again, it felt like another grind. You hit master, everyone's doing the same shit again. It's like, oh my god, But the thing is, with Street Fighter 6, a couple key factors here. Factor number one, people were along for that ride with me and very supportive of it. They didn't mind if I was playing Street Fighter 6 4 or 5 times a week because they understood I needed that much time investment to get good at the game, right? I was doing daytime streams, nighttime streams. I was doing all kinds of streams of Street Fighter 6 along that 5-6 month period that I was playing the heck out of it. In addition, I have fundamental knowledge of Street Fighter 6 because I know Street Fighter in and out from back in the day being a pro player. And I started at a level higher than most people. Most people jumping into Street Fighter 6, they're entry level. I was above entry level. I was like mid-level to start. So for me, there was less of a learning jump to get to a more competitive level. For everyone else, it was a bigger climb, okay? So for me, it's kind of a natural thing to get better at that game and do as well as I did. Now here's the thing. After 7 months of it, I got tired of it. I was burnt out. I wasn't having fun with it anymore. Because either I pick a character who... a character I don't know how to use it, and I'm trying to climb and learn with them, and it's like such a grind, because again, everyone's playing exactly the same online. The meta had been discovered, and it's just like, do I really want to do that? If I play the characters who hit Master, it's the same shit, the same repetitive people online doing the same spammed patterns of rushdown. That's all it is, rushdown patterns over and over. It's like no one else is doing anything. It's just the same 5-6 characters dominating online, and there's nothing you can really do about it. And basically, it would cause me a lot of stress. It would cause me a lot of, adrenaline rush, sweating my balls off trying to play the fucking game and getting angry, punching my joystick, screaming and everything. And after 7 months of it, I had enough. I was like, I'm going to give this a break, all right? And what we're going to do, we're going to play Tekken. Tekken's coming out at the end of January, and I want to try a different fighting game, and I'm curious how it will go, because I didn't know how it was going to go at all. I thought, Tekken's a whole other animal. It doesn't play like Street Fighter at all. It's a completely different engine. Fundamentals will help you, but I've almost never played Tekken competitively, It's been a long-ass time since I put any real effort into learning Tekken as a competitive game. And therefore, unlike starting at mid-level like I did with Street Fighter 6, I was kind of starting down at the bottom like everybody else, really. So it came out, and I said, let's try it out. And, we played through all the various modes of the game, which were good. The story mode is good. The arcade mode is good. It's good to have all that offline content. But, of course, the meat and potatoes of the game is playing online. Now, what I can tell you is this, and this is really odd. Overall, the online connections of Tekken are good, okay? I don't think they're as good as Street Fighter 6 when it comes to latency. And what I mean by that is when you're playing Street Fighter 6 online, you regularly will get lower ping matches, 20 milliseconds, 30 milliseconds. Those are really good pings, okay? You're going to have a pretty good experience. But what I actually found, and this is a tricky thing, when you're playing Street Fighter 6 versus Tekken Online, Street Fighter 6 would significantly drop way more of your inputs than Tekken 8 would. So even though the Tekken connections might have been a little bit laggier and slower, my moves would come out 99% of the time. Like, no exaggeration. It's rare when I'm playing Tekken 8 and you hear me complaining, oh, my move is repeatedly not coming out. But I used to say that all the time playing Street Fighter 6. And you might say, well, I wonder why. There's a very good reason. Because this is the drawback of rollback netcode. This is why rollback netcode fails, but the FGC either isn't smart enough or just doesn't want to recognize this fact. Here's the problem with rollback netcode, okay? When you have a lower ping and supposedly a better connection, how exactly do you think it is that the rollback netcode accounts for that? All right? You know what they say? It's kind of like when a government comes up with this awesome new plan where they're going to throw a bunch of money at something and everyone says, oh, it's a great idea. But you're like, yeah, but where's the money coming from? The taxpayers, right? Someone's got to pay to make that happen. So when you've got netcode, how do you get the connection to have 15 millisecond ping and have a better connection that's more responsive? Drop the inputs. That's how it does it. That's actually how rollback netcode does it. As you approach a better connection, all right, lower ping, supposedly supposed to be more responsive, it'll drop more inputs. So in Street Fighter 6, when you're playing online, you got a 15 millisecond connection, all of a sudden someone will do rushdown, you can't block it. Why can't I block it? Because it dropped your input. That's how it got you a 15 millisecond connection. It just ignores half the things you put. Of course, I'm exaggerating. It's not half. Maybe it'll ignore 4% of your inputs, but still in a competitive match, that's a lot. And you'll notice it. I can't block on reaction. My move, I swear I input it. Where the fuck is it? Why didn't it come out? because you got a 15 millisecond connection and the game drops more of your inputs, okay? When you're playing Tekken, all right, you don't have 15 millisecond connections. You probably on average have like a 40 to 60 millisecond connection, I would think. And shit, when you're on wireless, forget it. That thing just goes half the time. But you'll almost never drop a move. Almost never. Because it doesn't sacrifice your inputs for the sake of giving you a better connection. It just gives you the connection that you're going to get if you get all your inputs. Do you see the difference? So I can definitely tell you guys this, okay? 100%. I've had a more satisfactory time in the month and a half that I've played Tekken 8 online than I did playing Street Fighter 6 for 7 months. Because half the time I played Street Fighter 6, my shit dropped. But playing Tekken, it almost never drops. It might have a laggier connection that's very annoying that it's going and stuttering, but at least my moves come out. I'd rather have that. I'm going to be honest with you. I would rather have the laggier connection and have all of my moves come out than have a game that looks smooth, but half my inputs drop. And that's the illusion of rollback netcode. Rollback netcode looks better, but actually plays worse. And that's what I've been trying to tell you guys since the launch of Street Fighter 6, and no one wants to listen. Everyone yells at me that I'm the old man screaming at a cloud, and I don't understand because the FGC knows better. The FGC doesn't know better. All right, they don't. They're either ignorant or they just don't care. They want their matches to look good on their stream so people will watch and click and give money. They don't care about the quality of the match. The quality of the match in Tekken 8 has been far better for me than all the time I played Street Fighter 6, and that's the bottom line, and that's the truth. All right? So you want the ultimate best online experience in a fighting game? Tekken 8 gives you a better one than Street Fighter 6. That's the truth. All right? That's just me being honest. All right?